Hey guys, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, where today we are going to talk about the Buffalo Bills and everything that is going on with all the injuries. And we are just not even barely 48 hours away from kickoff against the Baltimore Ravens at Highmark Stadium, the final season in Highmark Stadium. And, we were going to wait until Sunday to go on, and we will still go on Sunday and give you guys our picks and our final pregame for the game against the Ravens. But we wanted to chat a bit about everything that's going on with, just the news that came out today that Tyler Bass is officially placed on injured reserve as of this morning. And now veteran kicker Matt Prater, according to Adam Schefter, signed to the practice squad and will very likely be promoted to the 53-man by Sunday. So, guys, we got that. We got Keon Coleman to talk about. We got Maxwell Hairston to talk about. How are we feeling, guys, going into this? Tre'Davious White.
Where did Prater play previously?
He was out last year, I think, with some sort of injury, so he didn't really play last year.
But who did he was he Denver at one point?
At one point, I believe so.
Okay.
He was with a few teams.
Yep.
Decent kicker, right?
I mean, he's a seasoned kicker. I mean, it's what you're probably going to want in a situation like this.
He was the one who broke that record in Denver for a little while. He held that 64-yard record in Denver for a while. He might still hold that, actually.
With the fact that everybody's kind of wishy-washy on Bass after the last couple of years, I don't know that this is necessarily a bad thing, seeing somebody else. And I guess we see if Prater can get the job done. I mean, if he goes 4 games and doesn't miss an extra point or a field goal, I mean, maybe he just stays the kicker for the season. We all know as Bills fans that Tyler Bass is guaranteed to miss 1 out of every 4 kicks. So I'm okay with it. I mean, you hate to see the guy get injured, but I know I've definitely said in the past that we should have moved on from Bass. But that was my thoughts.
Well, he's not. I mean, I think Bass sometimes get a bad rap. I don't think he was that bad.
No,
I think that there are spots that you get a little nervous with him for sure. But during that last preseason game when they let him kick, you can see that he wasn't even following through with his kicks. He was just kind of short legging it just to test it out, and I think that was the whole reason of them playing in that game. So, I mean, just from that game alone, I didn't think he was going to play. Just because of that, they didn't even let him really kick, and in that situation, you're going to want him to kick.
Yeah. So we got Tyler Bass, who's out officially. We got Christian Benford. I don't know what the status is of him. Is he officially out, or is he going to play? Sounds like he was limited. Right?
I believe
he practiced.
Yep.
Okay, and then we got Dwayne Carter, who I believe is
done for the year.
He had torn Achilles.
Shakir is good. He's going to play. Keon Coleman has a groin. He was limited. And then Tre'Davious White was also limited. And I believe that's the full injury report now.
For Coleman, I heard that they took him out as a precaution, and then he was seen walking and talking to everybody that he was all right to go. So I don't know if I've also heard talk that some of these players that are on there, like Benford and possibly Coleman, are kind of on there to mess with Baltimore and their game planning as potentially questionable injuries, and then we'll still see them play. I guarantee you we see Benford. I know T, you've argued this point, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Coleman.
I know how McDermott's been since he's been here. This dude is overly cautious when it comes to injuries, and groin is one of the injuries, a soft tissue one you don't want to mess around with. I would not be shocked if he does not play. I wouldn't expect him to play. Just in my opinion, because I just seen how McD normally handles these situations. First game of the year, he's not going to risk this guy tearing his groin, considering we got a bunch more games to play.
I feel like it hinges on whether or not it's them trying to play Baltimore, play some mind games with Baltimore too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's possible. I mean, you take Belichick. He used to put almost his entire roster on the injured list. So no, there's always games when it comes to those things. But I just think that a growing injury. I mean, they could have said anything but a growing injury. If they were trying to play any type of games, but a growing injury. Well, actually, I take it back. They could lie about that because chances are, if somebody has a growing injury, whether it's just tweaked or whatever, most players aren't going to play that game. So maybe they're just saying it because of that reason. But if he truly did tweak his growing, I wouldn't expect him to play. Not with the way McD handles on injuries.
The Ravens are a little banged up too going into this game though too. Obviously, the big one for them being Isaiah Likely, who's out. But then they've got, let's see,
Ricard's not going to be playing.
Adissa Isaac, Emory Jones, Xavier Gollery, Dayton Wade, and even Lamar Jackson showed up on there with a foot as well. So, I mean, Lamar will be fine, obviously, but quite a few players on there. Not Likely's a big name for them as well. He caught a few balls against us in that playoff game. So, I mean, at least Baltimore's not coming into this unscathed, which is good. I don't know. I'm suddenly, as we get closer to this game, I'm starting to get very nervous about it. I think Baltimore is going to come into this game pissed off, right? I mean, we knocked them out of the playoffs last year, and of all of the games we played this year, especially after watching Philly last night, Philly looks very beatable. But I don't know, man. I'm more afraid of Baltimore than I am of Kansas City.
I mean,
well, go ahead.
Baltimore is the equivalent of us to Kansas City, where they beat us in the regular season but can't beat us in the playoffs. And so, I mean, I predicted when we did our predictions that the Bills were going to lose this game. And I think my bigger problem if they lose this game is the media getting into their heads, because as well as I do that if they lose this game, the media is going to tear the Bills apart. And
I don't know about that.
I
mean, you know what? 0-1 is not that big a deal. And if you recall, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, the Bills lost the opening game to the Steelers. Remember that nonsense game the Bills lost to the Steelers? They went 0-1 and then they rattled off 7 in a row. Because looking at our schedule, there's not another difficult game on our schedule until we play the Chiefs, and that's week 9 or something like that. The Bills could very easily lose this game and then rattle off 7 in a row.
The problem is losing to a team like Baltimore. That's a pretty significant loss.
Perhaps, but Baltimore has a very, very hard schedule, whereas we do not.
First 6 games are all divisional winners.
Baltimore has. Listen to the schedule for Baltimore. They've got us, then they've got the Browns, whatever. But then they've got the Lions, the Chiefs, the Texans, the Rams, the Bears, the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Browns again, the Jets, then Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Ravens, Steelers. Packers, Patriots, Ravens, Steelers. They've got a lot of good teams on their schedule. Packers are great. Bengals are going to be better. The Vikings are good. Steelers always play them tough. The Texans are good. The Rams are good. Chiefs and Lions are good. I mean, Baltimore's going to have a tough go of it this year. It is not going to be, they need to get all the wins they can get, which leads me to what I want to ask you guys. Who needs this game more? The Bills or the Ravens?
Ravens. Ravens, hands down. I mean, Lamar has a terrible playoff record. He hasn't shown he can beat the Bills in the playoffs. He hasn't even shown he can beat Kansas City in the playoffs. So he's got a bigger mountain to climb than Josh does. Josh has one team to beat. Baltimore has literally 3, because if you throw Cincinnati in there, and Cincinnati is going to they're going to split with Cincinnati this year. They do every year. So I wouldn't be surprised if, in my opinion, it'd be Lamar. I think it's Lamar. I think it's the Ravens. And don't forget, is Ricard on there as far as injured? That's their fullback who is pivotal in their run game. And I heard that he's hurt too.
I'm not seeing it, but let me see. Ravens injured. Oh, yeah. Fullback Patrick Ricard both missed, and Isaiah Likely missed 3rd consecutive practice this week, as well as cornerback Jair Alexander, who may be better now. But yeah, no, you're right. Ricard is he's hasn't practiced at all this week, so he's probably out.
Yeah, see some of the coverage from Baltimore is all they're expecting him not to play. Jair Alexander hasn't practiced since I think they said the 9th.
He's expected to play though.
He's good. He's their number one corner. He's real good.
He actually isn't. That's the kicker. He's not even their number one.
I thought he was their number one.
Mm-mm. He was just brought in off the street, dude. He does it, or he was traded. What he was traded for, right?
I think so.
So who am I thinking of?
He's not great, and they only needed to fill in a spot because they got injuries at their corner spots.
I think personally and normally I would say the Bills need this more just to start strong, especially with the expectations on them this year. But after what we were just talking about there with the tough schedule for the Ravens, I think the Ravens need it more because they need to pick up whatever wins they can. I mean, if Cincinnati can start strong and actually be competitive, I mean, there's a chance Baltimore doesn't even win their division. I mean, yeah, Cincinnati is still a big question mark as far as the defense goes, but that offense, if there's an offense that can keep up with any of these highest scoring offenses in the league, it's Burrow and his two hit receivers there. Like, I think I have to agree. Baltimore probably needs this more.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, don't see the thing is, the problem with Baltimore is it's always going to be the Lamar Jackson situation. Right now, I know their fan base, I guess they're kind of split on getting rid of Harbaugh. So, I mean, he's been there for what, 18 seasons, I think? 18, 19 seasons, maybe 20.
I think he's the most tenured coach in the league right now.
Yeah. Oh, him and what's his name in Pittsburgh?
Tomlin.
And Tomlin. But he also has something to prove. But here's the problem, like you said, Sean, is with this road they got coming up, they can't empty the tank against the Bills.
Yeah.
You're tanking this first game, and then you can get smacked around for the next 5. So I mean, they're in for. I mean, they got it really stacked against them. So it'd be interesting to see how they pull out of this. But that's why I said Lamar has a lot to prove. He's got to play all playoff teams this year, and he's got them in a murderer's row. And his whole season can be dictated just because of that.
Yeah.
Or actually, we'll judge him because of how he plays in those games.
Well, and that was kind of their thing last year too, right? Like, you know, everybody wanted Lamar to be the MVP last year. I think two big things were the reason Lamar didn't get the MVP, even though his stats were better than Josh's. Mm-hmm. Taking aside everything Josh did, one, Lamar has a much better supporting cast than Josh does. That's a fact. 9 Pro Bowlers to 2 Pro Bowlers, right? If you even care about that. But then also B, Lamar beat up on a lot of bad teams last year. Like Sean and you and I were watching that one game where they played the Giants and they beat them like, what was it, 45-7, and they were up by 30, and Lamar was still playing in the fourth quarter.
Lamar played the whole game.
Yeah, and we talked about this. Whereas Josh literally missed 12 full quarters of football last year because he was pulled because the Bills were so far ahead. If Josh had played all 12 of those quarters, Josh easily could have, because Lamar didn't have that many more yards. It was a few hundred yards more than Josh. Like 3 full games, you don't think, like, basically is the equivalent of 12 quarters. You don't think Josh could have thrown another 600-700 yards in 3 full games? I mean,
well, not even that. And even, you know, you're talking like another maybe 5-6 touchdowns over that time.
Easy.
So, I mean, he takes the lead in both those if he plays in all those quarters.
I mean, so you're right. So, like, that's a bigger test for Lamar this year. I mean, I don't think Lamar is going to be anywhere near the MVP conversation this year. I think he'll have a fine year, but honestly, I think it's very likely going to be Joe Burrow this year. I'm very high on him this year, and I think that if they make the playoffs and do well, I think he's very likely to be your MVP this year. But we'll see how it goes. You never know.
I find it hard to believe Cincinnati. They may be in the run, you know, in the hunt. I just don't see them making the playoff. Their defense is shredded. They have nothing. It's going to be the same thing they had last year. The exact same thing. They would have made just to have a defensive end this year.
Tell me this though. If Cincinnati would have somehow found their way into the playoffs last year with that putrid ass defense that they had last year, shouldn't Burrow have been in that conversation for MVP?
Yeah, if they make the
100%.
playoffs, absolutely.
And it was one game.
But also
One
though,
game.
they're gonna go by how many wins you got too.
Sure. If they had won one more game, basically, not, like if they didn't get screwed by the officials against the Chiefs, like in the second game of the season, which
They're in.
well, yeah, they're in. But anyway, I digress. We're kind of going off topic here, so
I wanted to make
let's
a
get
point
back to
real
the
quick.
Bills. Yeah,
We were talking, hold on. We talked about Lamar and how he was in the MVP race. People wanted him to get it. Honestly, I think the big reason that Lamar had the season he had last year was because they added Derrick Henry. I think this year his numbers aren't going to be what they were last year because teams are going to have a better idea on what Baltimore's going to do with Derrick Henry. I mean, take the Bills for example. Looking at the Bills versus Derrick Henry on both Baltimore and Tennessee, out of like 6 or 8 games, there were only 2 games where Henry really went off against the Bills. They've managed to keep him in check. And now that we know what to expect with him out of Baltimore, in the playoffs last year, we held him to, I think, 70 yards and a touchdown after he went off for 200 yards during the regular season game. I mean, that's a pretty big difference. And I think that's going to impact too.
it was also game plan though. I think because I did see that a lot of Ravens fans were pissing and moaning that they just simply didn't give the ball to him, Derrick Henry, enough. So I think that was part of it was game plan, and I think that's what where your point about Harbaugh maybe being, or Terrence's point about Harbaugh a little bit maybe being on the out and out with the fan base is because you see same thing with McDermott, right? Like in the big moments, you choke. You don't you play too conservative, or you play not to lose. You don't play to win, you know? And that's the reason why the Chiefs always beat us in the playoffs because McDermott plays not to lose.
Well, I'm not mad at all about how their game plan against the Bills. Their problem was just the turnovers and how bad Lamar is in the playoffs in those spots.
That's the thing.
So in the event that we played them again, this is what's going to happen Sunday. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's going to be slow. I don't think this game's going to explode to the second half.
You beat Baltimore by making Lamar throw the ball.
Well, not even throw the ball. You got to take away his first read, and you just got to read the running backs. I mean, that's it. That's how he beats them. You take away that first read, you make sure you contain on the outside so they can't do their little RPO plays, and you contain it. I mean, McD has designed the defense that stopped Lamar, and the entire league's copied it. It's just a matter if you got the right personnel to run it, but still. I think Lamar is going to always be in the running. Doesn't matter. I mean, he has his, he's got his fan base. He's got his, talking heads who are always going to be behind him no matter what.
I do think that having Milano back for this game because Milano played the playoff game and he spied him the whole game.
Yeah.
But Milano was not here for that regular season game where they beat our asses like 35-17. So I think having Milano playing is huge.
Now I think didn't Bernard get hurt in that game too?
Bernard got hurt. Didn't Shakir get hurt too? We had a ton of injuries in that game.
Yep. But yeah, I think the first quarter to almost halftime it's going to be slow. I don't think it's going to be as explosive as we think.
I hope. I mean, I think that works better for the Bills. But we will certainly see. So, all right. Well, I guess then, with that being said, we all kind of agree that I think this game is more meaningful for the Ravens. But even still, like if the Bills were to lose, I am not going like I'm gonna come in here depending on how they lose. But like I'm not gonna come in here when we do our post game, of this the next day, and I'm not gonna like piss and moan about it. I think. Whereas like if they lose to the Jets in 2 weeks, you're damn right I'm going to piss and moan about it. I'm going to be on the fire McDermott train.
That's my line.
But I'll be honest with you. If there's a game we're going to lose, I'd rather lose to a bottom feeder than losing to a playoff contender because that's going to change your seeding.
Yeah.
Or just an NFC team.
Yeah. Lose to an NFC team.
Lose to Atlanta or something.
Yeah.
So, all right. So with that, how are you guys feeling about the game? Let's talk about the game yesterday first. So we had the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys that ended in a final of 24-20. The first half of the game, which is all I watched, looked like there were going to be 200 points scored in that game. And then I guess there was a storm and some other stuff, and the game just kind of seemed like it was a completely different game in the second half. But like, what did you guys make of that? What did you guys make of the controversy, the spitting controversy to start the game? And I don't know, give me your take.
Well, first of all, I think Jalen Carter should be suspended for the next game. You don't spit on another man. I don't care what happens on the field. I mean, they say Dak spit, but he was in his huddle and he like spit at the ground. I mean, it wasn't even like at him. So they're going to use that as an excuse for him to spit on top of Dak. I mean, something like that. I mean, you just guys trading bodily fluids and a sign of disrespect to another team's quarterback. It should be an automatic suspension. But I guess the NFL is talking about they're reviewing it and stuff, and Dak's name is being brought into it for a possible suspension. Fine Dak, okay? You can fine him for taunting, but Jalen Carter should be suspended the next game. I'm sorry, he should not play in that next game. Because isn't the rule is if you are suspended in the game for was it player conduct? What is it? What's the I forget what the
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, but there's severity of them.
Yeah.
If you get kicked out of a game, I believe you're automatically suspended the next game.
I know it used to be like that.
I don't understand that rule. Maybe one of you guys can explain it to me. So he spits on the dude and he's out for the entire game right away. But then, like, 10 minutes later, there was a big ass fight where two Philadelphia Eagles got, personal fouls. Like, one dude knocked the other dude's helmet off and, like, threw a punch at him. And he just came right back in the game.
Yep.
Can you explain to me the inconsistency?
So there's different tiers of it according to the refs. But
so spitting on someone is worse than punching them in the face?
Who the hell knows? I mean,
actually, it is.
To murder Mason Rudolph, so
it actually is. It actually is. Someone's hocking a loogie in your face to punching you. That's worse. That is worse. You don't even know what the guy's fluids are in his body. He's hocking it on you. No. Mm-mm.
So the talking heads are already trying to, a bunch of them trying to blame Dak. Mm-hmm. Watching the video, it looked like Dak in the huddle spat at the ground, not at Carter. And so I feel like this is just an excuse for them to not suspend Carter. Yeah. But if I'm the coach for Philly, I mean, Philly's a bunch of scumbags anyway. But if I'm the coach,
we don't mean Philly, that. Please like and subscribe.
Like, am I wrong? I mean, this is the city that threw batteries at Santa. Like, if I'm the coach for Philly, like, I'm on this guy like hard. Like, the game hasn't even started yet. You're one of the best defensive players, and you're out of the game already. There's no excuse for that, and it led to, I mean, Dallas had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half. Do they get those 2 rushing touchdowns with him in the game?
I mean, I don't know, but I think it would have been hysterical if Dallas found a way to win that. And they almost did. They almost found a way to win that game.
If CeeDee Lamb could catch a damn ball.
No, the game changed when Miles Sanders fumbled. They were about to score again when he fumbled the ball. And then, also don't forget the 3 missed sacks on that terrible defensive line of Dallas.
Yep.
I mean, Dante Fowler looked so bad in that. I was watching him. He's supposed to contain the edge. He didn't contain the edge on one play.
How about Kyer
Elam? Biting on RPOs.
I was just going to say Kyer Elam, too, was completely the reason that they got that second touchdown. Yikes. Yep. There was like a 50-yard penalty because of stupid Kyer Elam. He's so terrible.
But see, it worked out in their favor, too, because, they weren't throwing to their receivers.
No. And, I mean, A.J. Brown getting 1 target is absolutely embarrassing. And on the other
side, yeah.
And then, aside. I mean, he's your best player. And honestly, I mean, outside of Saquon Barkley. But we all know he's a little bit of a prima donna. So who knows what this is going to do for that attitude going forward. But then on the other side, you have, Lamar Jackson, who's, I mean, he's your best player. And honestly, I mean, outside of Saquon Barkley. But and we all know he's a little bit of a prima donna. So who knows what this is going to do for that attitude going forward. But then on the other side, you have Dak Prescott, who apparently can't turn his head to look at any other wide receiver except CeeDee Lamb. Like, it, you're not going to be able to go an entire season where you only look at one wide receiver. Like, that was ridiculous, too. I'm sorry.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of these quarterbacks didn't even play in the preseason. And if they did play, it was very little. There was only a few starting quarterbacks that actually played, I think more than one preseason game, was it? So this is to me, I mean, Pickens is new. I mean, he really doesn't know Pickens all that much. I expected him to try him a few times, popping them deep to him. He did, but they were, I think he caught one. But the rest
and then
of
there were penalties on the other ones.
Huh?
There were penalties on the other ones.
Yeah,
The pass interference in the end zone, I think, for one of them was on Pickens.
But they were, I mean, I was shocked that even with Jalen Carter, I mean, they still have a good defensive line. I just was shocked at how Dallas was still able to run the ball up and down the field on them.
Yep. Well, Dallas did really get bailed out by penalties too. Like
they were honest penalties, though.
I know they were honest penalties, but like I'm always of the mind, and you'll probably hear this a lot on this channel over the course of the season. There are penalties, and then there are penalties, and what I mean by that is situational penalties are much more impactful than nonsense penalties. And I know that sounds like an obvious thing, but you've got plenty of people, your talking heads, especially that douchebag Nick Wright, who will always, use this, the note that, well, the Chiefs are one of the most penalized teams in the league, but situational penalties, right? Like, yeah, the Chiefs get a ton of fucking offsides penalties, off or not offsides penalties, offensive, pass interference penalties on first down, right? When it means nothing to go from 1st and 10 to 1st and 20 or something like that. Whereas, there's a ton of them against their opponents on like a crucial fucking 3rd down to give them a first down. Tell me that doesn't happen all of the time. How many games last year did the Chiefs win by nonsense penalties? Like right at the end, 3, 4? I mean,
or how about the fact that they never call a false start on the one guard for Kansas City who jumps on literally every play?
Tackle. You're talking about the tackle.
Yeah. Literally every play he jumps on, and they never call it.
Yeah. Well, again, that's what happens when you win a Super Bowl. When you're Patrick Mahomes, you get those benefits. He just took over for Brady.
Yeah. There were in the game last night, though, I will say there were a couple missed calls on, I don't remember if it was the first or the second of Hurts' touchdown runs. There was a pretty bad hold that wasn't called.
Yep.
And it directly led to Hurts getting free and going off.
And I think that was the one play that I saw that I thought Dante Fowler was there again. And I think Malata?
I think so.
He was grabbing a hold of him. He was trying to spin out of it. And the ref is sitting right there watching. Yep. No flag.
And Hurts took off and scored.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was number 40. Whoever number 41 was for I can't remember what his name was, but he was held on that play. I seen that. Yep.
Yeah. And then though, when it came down to the second half, though, I mean, it started out slow, and then we got that hour-and-a-half weather delay, and that just killed any momentum for the game. Both teams came out after that, and both looked so sluggish and just out of it.
Well, it hurt Dallas, I think, more so due to the fact that they fumbled the ball before that.
Yeah, literally the play before.
Yep. Yeah. So they literally they were about to score. They just got a turnover. They were about to score. And Miles Sanders threw it away. And I'll be honest with you, Philly knows about Miles Sanders. His ball security has always been an issue. And every time he ran the ball, when he had that on that drive, they were punching at the ball. They were pulling at his arms.
He only had one
time. And all it took was that one time in the red zone, and he fumbled it and gave it right back.
Yeah, completely agree. Speaking of the Chiefs, then, they play in a couple of hours here against the Los Angeles Chargers in Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Is that right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be on free YouTube for everybody, so that's kind of cool. Kind of got a lot going on tonight too, because I think we're going to get AJ Lee and Brock Lesnar as well on SmackDown, so that should be super interesting. I have to kind of watch both, I guess. But how are you guys feeling about this first Chiefs game of the year? The line, I think, is 3 right now, and the over-under is 45.5.
I don't think it clears. I don't think it clears the over, and I think Kansas City wins by 2.
I'm going the other way. I'm taking the Chargers on the opener.
Really?
Really?
Neutral ground. I just think that's the one thing about it's the one thing about the Chiefs is they're bound. They always bounce one, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for the Chargers to get on. They're not at the home. They're not in Arrowhead. They're on neutral ground. Neutral. You're not going to have the fan bases aren't going to be all one sided. I'm be honest with you. I take the Chargers. I think Chargers win.
I like the under here. I think you're right. I think the Chargers probably do win unless the Chiefs pull off some nonsense here. But I don't see this as a very high scoring game. Most
Nope.
Charger games are not very high scoring.
Yep.
So, if I'm a betting man on this, which I am a betting man, I would probably take the Chiefs to win, but a low scoring game. I think it's going to be a low scoring one possession, like 21-17 kind of game.
Problem is it's just so hard to bet against the Chiefs. Like
Yeah.
just based on what we see and how they're treated, and like the BS penalties, and just somehow the fact that Mahomes manages to pull a win out of his ass. I mean, the one thing I would bet on is that tackle's going to false start and not get called for it. But outside of that, it's hard to bet against them.
Travis Kelce will push off like 15 times as well and never get called for it.
Here's a question.
I agree. I mean, if you're a betting man, you obviously would go with the Chiefs, but I think it's neutral ground. I like the underdogs in that spot.
Here's a question for you: does Kelce have a bounce back year this year?
No. It's easy beyond age to be the number one tight end in the league.
I think this is his last year.
I thought last year was going to be his last year.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he came back. To be completely honest with you, he looked like a shell of himself last year. I mean, I know he had a few games, but there's a reason he was ranked like 92nd in fantasy football drafts.
Isn't he like 34?
He won't. I mean, it won't take a lot for him to have a better year than he did last year, just because of how bad his year was. But I don't know. That was such a terrible year for him. I feel like he's got to do at least a little better on his way out.
Well, the thing is, you got to figure out they're not going to have Rashee Rice for this game. He's done for 6 games.
Wait, did they officially suspend him?
Yeah, he's been suspended.
I thought they were waiting to do his thing until.
No,
I mean, I'm sorry, dude shouldn't play at all.
No, I agree.
He should be done for the whole year. Hit and run.
I think it's 4 games or 6 games.
Unbelievable. Like
the fact that he got the same amount of games as these guys who got suspended for taking the performance enhancing stuff is an embarrassment.
Yeah,
he should be done for the whole year.
Yep, first 6 games.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. So they're not going to have him on the field, and you're going to think that Kelsey's not the guy to carry that team anymore by himself. I mean, Xavier Worthy's a one-trick pony. I mean, they're going to run the ball a lot. I think KC's going to run the ball a hell of a lot more this year than they've ever ran the ball.
He's still got what's his face? Who's their running? Who's their running back?
Pacheco.
Isaiah Pacheco
and Kareem Hunt, right?
Yep. So I think you're going to see a different type of offense out of Kansas City this year.
Do you think we see trick plays with Worthy again this year, or do you think those are used out?
Yeah, of course.
No, they can't help it. But yeah, I do think I got a feeling the Chargers are going to pull this one out just because it's neutral ground. KC's not going to have some of their weapons. I think it's going to. I think they can win it. Now I think the Chargers are coming in relatively healthy too, right?
As far as I know.
I think so.
I haven't been following them that much.
So yeah, I think this is going to be a good game to watch. I think with it being Brazil first, all the lights and everything. I think the Chargers do it. I like the Chargers.
I'm hoping that you're right. I just, like I said, I have a hard time going against the Chiefs.
No, I'm with you. I trust me. It takes everything in me to say that the Chargers, that the Chiefs are going to win that game. But I just like the way that one played. This first game plays out for the Chargers because KC, they tend to struggle a little bit early in the season.
Yeah,
they have been doing that for the last 3 or 4 seasons, struggling early.
Yeah, yesterday was one of my 2 upset picks for the week, so I was already wrong on that one.
Yeah, Dallas, they had a chance.
Yeah.
But I think this week, this is the most exciting week of the year. I mean, we're
Always.
getting football. We're going to have football the whole weekend, started since yesterday. I mean, you got college football all day Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a full slate of games Sunday and then Monday. I'm ready to go. I really am ready to go. But I think I'm being honest with you. I think something crazy is going to happen in our game.
What do you mean?
I think you're going to see something you probably never seen before. I think it's going to come out of Josh Allen.
Like a baby?
I think that's just like a baby, a New Year's baby.
He's going to throw a touchdown to himself.
I just think this is going to be a crazy game. That's what I think.
Josh Allen's going to go out there and do his best Mr. Perfect impression, throw the football, run down the field, and catch it himself.
Yeah, I think the first half is going to be weird, man. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points in the first half.
Here's a question for you. Gabe Davis signed to the practice squad. Does he get called up at some point? And B, who does he replace?
He's not.
If he gets called up.
He's still rehabbing for the injury.
Yeah,
right.
he'll get called up for like an injury of some kind. Somebody will be injured later on in the season, maybe Palmer or
Samuel.
Sammy, yeah, Curtis.
Well, that's if they decide to go his route. But I mean, don't forget they got Wilkinson, who they brought back on the practice squad, who looked really good in the preseason. So I mean, they got other options out there. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not called first. I do think it's going to be Wilkinson. But Gabe coming off a knee injury, the dude hasn't played since mid last season, something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, he still has a ways to go till he even sees the field. I think he's brought in more like they did with everybody else. Just brought him in as another helpful person, help out. They're known as practice squad. They're out there to help out with the team and to kind of coach some of these kids along. I mean, Gabe can't play right now, so it doesn't really matter for him. He ain't got no choice but to coach.
Yeah.
Does the
I'm just glad they didn't pay him.
Does the IR for practice squad work the same as the IR for the regular season? Is it 4 games and then just?
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
So Gabe Davis, they had to temporarily drop Poyer in order to sign Davis, then move Davis to like an injured spot to re-sign Poyer. Do they only have like a set amount of time to keep him in that injured spot, or like how does that work?
It has a lot to do with post June 1st and all that nonsense. So I think it would fall into the same category as. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing it falls into the same category as they did with Carter. I think it's
Carter. They have
not Carter. Harrison. So and it could be they sign him to the roster. You could put him on IR. You immediately pull him back off the roster. And you put Poyer back on. That's what I'm guessing. I think it's 4 games. I'm not. I think so. But it is a weird signing the way they did it. So I'm not. Yeah. I don't want to say that I'm 100% on that.
Yeah, I've never seen him do anything.
Would go.
Yeah. What about Poyer? Do you think he sees the field at all?
No.
Yep.
Yeah. Really?
I think midpoint in the season. I don't think McDermott's happy with the safeties.
I mean, I wouldn't.
I agree with that.
I just don't think he's happy with the safeties. Now they can prove us wrong, and Cole Bishop all of a sudden can show that he can play football. Yeah, right. I mean, he can show that he can get through a few games, but I'm going by the sample size we've had. The guy can't stay on the field, and he looked okay last year at the end of the year, but I don't think McD's happy with the safeties, and I think at some point he's going to pull Poyer up.
Did anybody sign that guy out of who played for Atlanta last year? The All-Pro guy?
Who's that?
You and I talked about him. He was a free agent. He was an All-Pro.
Yeah, we were thinking about him coming in.
Because I know they just restructured Dawkins, I think it was. And they freed up like $8 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we sign a safety?
Well, I think he's probably going to wait and see how this first game goes. I think they're going to test it out, see what they got, what they have now, and see how they perform on Sunday, and then certain areas don't perform the way that, like cornerback, safety, wide receiver,
Because right now, who's
defensive
our
tackle.
who's our starting defensive backfield right now?
They haven't announced who's across from Benford yet. A lot
Who's our
of people are saying that don't be surprised if you see that guy. What's his name? Is it Forrest? What's his name?
Franklin?
Strong, Dorian Strong.
Dorian Strong?
Don't be surprised if you see he might even be the starter. He might play the number 2.
And then our corners. Who are our corners right now?
So right now you got Benford, Ingram, Strong. Who else? I mean, we don't know about Trey White. They haven't officially said he's not playing, but he hasn't practiced still, so I wouldn't expect him to play. Who's the other corner? Codrington, but he's not really a corner.
He's a safety, right?
No, he's a corner, but they use him for special teams. And he's very small. It's just weird when the Bills put him out there to play cornerback. Sometimes you're just kind of like, what are we doing?
And then that new guy they just signed, the special teamer, is a defensive back as well.
Yeah, he's a safety, but he doesn't play safety.
He's just special teams, right?
Yeah, strictly special teams. He used to play with he played under Tabor, and was he in Carolina?
He was in Carolina, yeah. He's a bigger guy.
Yeah, so he's a special teams ace, which they needed because our special teams didn't look all that impressive during the preseason. They look very out of whack. I mean, a lot has to do with you got a new special teams coach with new philosophy, so I don't think everything was going to look. I think special teams is going to be a little shaky until maybe 4 or 5 games in.
So their starting 3 then are receivers are Palmer, Shakir, and Coleman. And then second would be Samuel, Elijah Moore, and Tyrell Shavers. Is that right?
Yeah, they got 6 this year.
Moore just didn't practice the other day for personal reasons, apparently.
I thought he was sick.
And then is Samuel cleared off of whatever was wrong with him during the preseason?
Yeah, he's going to play. They just sat him out.
So I'd like to see I'm hoping Shavers does well. I'd like to see him get some opportunities.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to have some packages for the kid to get out there and get deep. But like I said, dude, I'm just ready to go. I'm just ready to go and see what this team. We haven't seen Josh this entire offseason throw the ball in front of us unless you went to the red and blue game. It's going to be interesting to see. I just want to know, what all this is going to look like. I mean, another thing for Baltimore too is I heard that they got some new guys playing guard or something like that this year. One of their guys retired. I think it was Marikai, whatever his name is. I think he retired. And I think they got a rookie playing one in the corner or a second-year guy playing guard too. So I guess they got some question marks on their offensive line, and not to mention Ricard's not going to play, who's a huge player in their run game, and likely he's not going to play either. So they got some. I'm shocked that the swing on it went into the favor of Baltimore, considering their injuries too. Mm-hmm. But, Vegas knows something we don't, I guess, right?
Always.
I don't want, I'm telling you, there's always that old gambling adage, though. Don't ever bet against a home underdog in prime time.
Yep.
Don't ever do it. It's
especially one with the record of in prime time games.
It's apparently it's like gambling suicide. It's like it's always something like 80% of home underdogs in prime time cover. It's an insane statistic, which makes me think because the spread is so low that you just bet on the Bills straight up. Like it's such an insane statistic that like home underdogs only in a primetime game just so infrequently fail to cover the spread.
It's also incredibly crazy when you take into account the Bills' home record over like the last 3 seasons and their primetime record over like the last several seasons. Like when you take that into account and they're still underdogs, it seems kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen under lights, man, is like the greatest show on earth.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I really think something. I think this is going to be like a very weird, crazy game. That's just in my opinion. Lamar tends to throw up on himself when he plays against the Bills in big moments. So we'll see what happens there. But at the same time, though, we got a lot of rookies on defense. This is going to be a tough game for them, especially with the front guys who've never gone up against Derrick Henry and everything. They're going to have to learn how to stay disciplined real fast, because you got to place one time with Derrick Henry back there. It's good night. It's going to be a long day.
You get straight armed straight to last week.
Yep.
You also got to take into account, though, that Henry is getting old. So at some point, that's going to catch up to him.
He's on like that Tom Brady diet, though. So like he's going to live forever. He's going to be able to play forever.
Listen, Josh Allen, as of late 2022, is 11-4 on primetime.
That's crazy.
He arguably is the greatest playoff quarterback to ever play in a game.
Yeah,
I'm not going to give that to him until he wins the big one.
No, I said playoffs.
I know.
He is literally, statistically, he's the greatest quarterback to ever play in a
Sure,
playoffs.
but he hasn't won the Super Bowl yet. So
he's got to. Yeah, I know. He's got to win that. I mean, that's the one thing he needs to get.
Once he wins the Super Bowl, I'd give him that accolade. One of the best playoff quarterbacks of all time. But
well, I mean, you figure. I mean, they didn't lose most of their playoff games because of him.
Mm-hmm. The only game they lost because of him, frankly, was that Cincinnati game.
Yep.
I think all the Chief games were because of McDermott.
Yep. And the terrible ass defense.
McDermott.
And terrible calls by the refs.
I think you can still say, though, statistically, Allen is one of the best playoff ones. Even if he hasn't won the big one, you would say statistically he is, at least.
No, that's what I'm saying. Statistically, he's the greatest playoff quarterback to ever play.
Yeah. All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we get to our pregame on Sunday morning?
Let's go, Bills, man. I think Sunday morning, man, I'm telling you right now, I'm at the biggest smile on my face. I can't wait. Football all day long. I missed you.
Let's go.
This is one of the best weekends of the year. I mean, it always sucks that it signifies the end of summer, but I always can never wait for it. And let's get those tables ready. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, smash that like and subscribe button. We'll see you guys on Sunday morning. We'll also have some other content coming out for you as well this weekend for our WWE fans in the audience. So thank you guys so much. Have yourselves a fantastic evening and take care.